This is video 5 in a series of videos about mystery angles. In this video, we're going to focus on quadrilaterals. So with any quadrilateral, if we measure each of the angles inside the quadrilateral, we can add them together. And as always, using a calculator is sometimes a good quick strategy. We will find it will always add up to 360 degrees. And that's true for any quadrilateral. It doesn't matter what shape it takes, it doesn't matter what size it is. The interior angles will always add up to 360 degrees. And that's a clue that we can use when we're solving for mystery angles. Let's have a look at one of these together. In this first example, we're missing this angle here. So if we take the fact that we know that all 4 of these angles together need to add up to 360, we can start with that total, then subtract what we know, and we should be left with what we don't know. So I'm going to need to add these angles that I do know together. And as always, use that calculator if it's going to save you time. Okay, that adds up to 288. So I subtract that total of what I know from the total all 4 angles should be. Again, use that calculator. And that gives me 72. So I can say that x is equal to 72 degrees. Let's have a look at another one. In this problem, we're missing angle y. So again, I know the total of all my angles in a quadrilateral should be 360. And I need to subtract what I know. So in this case, these 3 angles. Maybe I'll find some space over here. 72 plus 123 plus 51. I can use my calculator to help me. That adds up to 246. So I'll subtract that from my total. $114. So I can say that y is equal to 114 degrees. And it's sometimes a good idea to stop and ask yourself, does that make sense? Looking at angle y, I can see that it's more than 90 degrees. So it makes sense to me that that could be 114 degrees. Okay, let's have you try one on your own. In this first problem, you're solving for angle A. So you don't have to copy down the quadrilateral. You can just pause the video and use the information you see there to make your calculations. When you're finished finding the value of A, you can hit play again and watch my solution. Okay, hopefully you found the value of A. So again, we're going to use that 360 degree total to help us. So I know all angles together should be 360 degrees. I'm going to take away the part that I know, and I'll be left with what I don't know. So the parts that I know, 125 plus 58 plus 108. Use my calculator. And I see that's 291. Subtract that from my total of 360. 69. So I can say that A equals 69 degrees. Let's have you try another one. In this problem, you're solving for B. When you're finished finding the value of B, you can hit play again and watch my solution. Okay, hopefully you found the value of B. Let's take a look at it together. So again, using the same trick of the total being 360 degrees for all 4 of these angles. I need to take away what I know. So looking at what I know this angle is 76 degrees and this angle is 72 degrees, but I'm missing values in both of these areas. So this is the one I'm trying to find, B. I need to use the clue that I learned earlier on that this square tells me that this angle is exactly 90 degrees. So that's part of what I know. So I'm going to add all 3 of those values together. 238. So I'm going to subtract that from the 360. $122. So I can say that B is equal to 122 degrees. Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, in this problem, you're solving for C. This is a little bit of a trickier problem, but I think you can solve it. When you're finished solving it, hit play to watch my solution. All right, hopefully you found the value of C. Same trick again, so we know that all 4 angles together need to add up to 360 degrees. And we need to subtract what we know, but in this case, we don't have any measurements given to us. So we don't know any of the measurements, but we do know one other clue. The other clue given to us here is that all 4 angles must have the same value because they're all labeled with the same letter variable. So instead of subtracting, I'm actually going to divide 360 by the 4 angles. I'm going to share that 360 degrees evenly between the 4 angles. I can use my calculator for that. 360 divided by 4 equals 90. So I can say that each of these C angles is worth 90 degrees. And if I wanted to double check, I could add 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, and I would find that it gives me 360 degrees. Let's try one more problem here. It's a little tricky, but I know you can solve it. When you found your answer, you can hit play to watch my solution. All right, hopefully you found the value of D. Again, we're starting with the total. We know it all has to add up to 360 degrees in a quadrilateral. I'm going to subtract what I know. So in this case, that's 130 plus 130. And those are the only 2 angles that I know. So those are the only ones I can add. I can use my calculator if it helps me. So I'm going to subtract what I know from the total. And I'm left with what I don't know. But in this case, this 100 degrees needs to be shared between 2 angles. The clue that I need to use is that both angles have the same letter variable. So I'm going to divide to share evenly by 2. I'm going to find that's 50. So each of these D angles is worth 50 degrees.